let's replicate that thing. Let's try and.
What's your favorite line?
Let's try to wrap
What's
the entirety of Hamilton.
You know my favorite part of Hamilton, the show.
What is it? What is it, Will?
You know what it is?
What
is it, Will? When the character named Hercules Mulligan, which is a great name, his first line was, he said, "My name is Hercules Mulligan."
It's pretty phenomenal.
And that was it.
Real good.
And now we know his name.
I guess
That's great. You get the
Aren't all the other
eccentricities
characters
of the characters.
say the same thing? Like Lafayette's like, I am
He's
Lafayette, or something.
He's like, I think he says, "Oui, mon ami, je m'appelle Lafayette."
Yeah,
so that's at least some like characterization.
Ben
in
is
there.
Instead of just saying, "My
actually-
name is Hercules Mulligan."
Actually, John Lawrence also goes, "I'm John Lawrence."
I mean, I guess if you were introducing yourself, you wouldn't say some like parable or something. You would just say your name.
Some may say that my name is Hercules Mulligan.
Yeah.
Word around town is that my name is Hercules Mulligan. I don't know why I said it like that.
saying,
Hercules
like,
Mulligan.
I'm the guy
Downtown.
who did this.
Someone's in here.
Someone's in here.
Rap. You could do a rap or something about something he's done, and then say.
He did.
And then it
felt-
would
but
lead
he
up
started
to him. It
Introducing
would lead up to
himself.
him saying, "My name is Hercules Mulligan." You know.
I would like to propose the title for today's episode, which I think should be the basis of all of our cold opens, is us just picking a title. I think it should just be Will is Hercules Mulligan.
I agree.
I think that should
My
be the
name is
title.
Hercules.
Okay, that works.
Perfect. All right, shall we get into it?
Okay,
Yeah, let's get into
great.
it.
I believe Keelan is hosting.
Oh, great.
Hold on, I'm gonna just turn down the light in this room.
Hercules Mulligan has left the room. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to This Podcast Should Be Played Loud. My name is Keelan.
Holy hell! My name is Hercules Mulligan.
And I'm Will.
This podcast should be played loud with Keelan, Will, and Hercules Mulligan.
Special guest.
So, welcome back.
The artist formerly known as Hercules Mulligan.
Here's the thing. Do you remember when Snoop Dogg was Snoop Lion for like a week and everyone lost interest, including him?
Yeah, and then he made a gospel album.
He made a gospel album?
under the name Snoop Lion. Why did he do that?
Did he not realize
Lions are
that
more
sucked?
ferocious than dogs.
Yeah, I hope so.
I guess so,
He probably
but
did.
lions
I mean, he
don't
changed
snoop.
his name back, so.
Yeah.
Do dogs
God,
snoop?
that sucked. Yeah, Dog
Snoop. The Snoop.
Detectives Snoop Keelan. Dogs bark.
The word Snoop shouldn't be a word.
No, I agree.
I just don't like it.
Why not? Why not?
I don't know. It sounds weird.
I was thinking about this
Snoop?
the other day. You know when you say a word so many times that it doesn't sound
Yeah.
like a word anymore? Yeah. That happens to
Yeah.
me way too often. Or like I'll type an essay and say the same word over and over again and be like, yo,
Yeah.
that's not a word.
The word ruler always gets me. Ruler. 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 Weird, right?
Mine is
Ruler.
view. View. View.
Pew.
Yeah, if you say it enough, it like you feel like you're doing it wrong.
Exactly.
It
But then you
becomes, like,
can't find
phonetic.
Where? Yeah.
Where? Whoa. Crazy.
Whoa.
This is
Crazy.
good radio.
Mulligan.
This is why we have 9 viewers.
Well, this is audio at least. It's not
Yeah.
not like we're trying to do sign language.
Precisely.
Yeah, at least we're saying words.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What should we talk about today?
Well, you guys
Will and I
can
saw
talk
Hamilton.
about. You guys can talk.
I'd like to. Yeah, I have some questions I'd like to ask you guys about.
Sure.
Hamilton, the show, because
Alright.
we've all seen it now. Ben
Hamilton
is, our
is a
resident.
township near Toronto. It's very industrial, and I've been there once. That's all I got. That's all I know about Hamilton. That's
I've
all
been
sense.
there once. Thanks for that addition,
Yeah.
Keelan.
Anytime.
All right,
Anyways, continue.
I have some questions
Continue,
about the township.
Yeah.
So Ben is our resident Hamilton expert, I
Yes.
guess. 'cause
Apparently.
Seen it twice.
He's seen it in person and online.
On the line.
On the line.
On the plus.
Keelan and I saw it 2 nights ago. Keelan saw it last night. What did you think of it, Keelan? You liked it, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think that the play is genius for what it is. There's definitely a lot of controversy about it around it right now, and I hadn't really thought about it like that until I started having those discussions like with Will before we watched it, and then watching it, it's it glosses over some bigger aspects of stuff. Like, it keeps calling Hamilton an abolitionist, but he owned slaves, and they don't mention that. So, like, they do gloss over a lot of stuff, and it's a little propaganda-y. So, but for what it is, in the end, but it does, the reclamation and all that. For what it is, I think it's a genius production. I think the writing is spectacular. The music is wonderful. I think that Lin-Manuel Miranda has done more in his 40 years on Earth than most people will do in a lifetime. So,
You're going to say that I have.
Okay, no, 20, so there you go.
Yeah,
I loved it. The filming was kind of bad.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think there was 0 point. No, okay, I can see why they did all those weird things like the closed performance, get on stage and get close to the actors. But it's like my brother said while we were watching it that it's really off-putting to see a close-up in theater.
Yeah, it really because
really
theater actors are not subtle. They're not subtle
all, no.
actors. That's the point.
Yeah.
And so it's weird to see when they go
back.
Exactly, and it's weird to see when you go up close that they're playing more subtle. They're acting more subtly, and it's kind of strange. It doesn't feel like I'm watching a play anymore.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is, even if maybe it thinks it's a movie, it's not a movie.
No,
it is.
not in the
It is less of a
slightest.
movie than, or Hamilton is not a movie. And if they made a movie of Hamilton, maybe that would be different. And I'm sure they will in the next 10 years because there's no way that somebody won't pick that up. But like, if we're watching the play, then I want to be watching the play, and I want to just be seeing it as if I'm like in the audience. And they had that whole thing of like, you're in the best seat of the house, but from your living room. And I'd like to be in the best seat of the house. I don't want to be on the stage because I wouldn't be on the stage, and it takes you out of it. It takes you out of the play.
Fair.
I will say there were a few moments where the stuff on stage was like well done. Like a couple, like whenever they did low angles, I kind of enjoyed that because it really emphasized the lighting, and that was in like key moments. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then there was like 1 or 2 shots where they did like a focus pull on stage to show someone in the background or something like that, and I was like, oh, that's neat because I wouldn't have been able to see them from a straight on angle, but they're like in the wings area. That's cool. I like that. But like, when it did the close-up on Aaron Burr during his solo, I was like, Jesus Christ, back up. I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable. It was too close.
Yeah,
It was weird. I hated that.
They had some bird's eye view shots as well.
I liked those.
And it was like,
I like those. Those
They
are
were,
cool.
but for all of this, for me, it was cool, and sometimes it was like, oh, I wouldn't have been able to see that in the same way, and it's kind of cool looking at it from this way.
Yeah.
But it still had that same effect of like,
It's weird.
I don't want to be here. I want to
Also,
just...
Lin-Manuel Miranda's facial hair up close is really off-putting. I didn't like it. It looked gross. So I didn't like that part.
It's not the nicest. Yeah, I'm sure.
No.
Well, he went through puberty while creating Hamilton.
And during the show.
Yeah,
And during the show, yes.
He went from 19 to like 60.
You can hear his voice drop in the second act.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was
the
thinking about
glasses and
that.
stuff.
His voice was really high in the first act, and I was like, is
Yeah.
that his real voice?
It's
And
higher.
I didn't notice it drop.
His voice is
Yeah.
higher naturally, I think.
He does have a
Yeah.
natural high voice.
What is he? An alto?
Yeah.
Soprano? What is not a soprano?
I think he's the
Alto or
one
tenor?
above tenor. I think that's alto, right?
Maybe. I don't know. It's
I
been a
don't know.
while.
I don't know music, bro.
It's been a minute.
Yes,
Will,
same.
you're a resident music expert. What do you think?
I thought it was great. That's
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
What other questions did you have, William?
Okay, well, that wasn't the question. The
Oh,
question is, okay, I read about it that, and I didn't really read past this one sentence, but that it's a play without characters. And I thought about it, and it's kind of been eating at me for since I watched it, because it might be true somewhat, because I feel like the narrative is not, it's more like you're reading a textbook and it's a chronicle of events than it is like a character drama, because
Right.
they just kind of say like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and a lot of the characterization is down to like, Alexander Hamilton is a narcissist, and that causes him to pursue politics and all these things, and all of these people are like, they just want to be in politics, and that's their main drive. Like we don't often see their like who they are fueling what they do, which I understand in a way because it's so quick and like a mile a minute, and it covers so much ground over so little time. But I can't find like a disproof for that, and I was wondering if what you guys had to say about that now that I've blindsided you with it.
It's an interesting idea.
That is an interesting theory, yeah. I think.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Thank you. I think that Hamilton. I agree that there's no real. I think it is an ensemble play above anything else. I think that if you took out a stellar super strong performance, like let's say you took out Philippa Sue's performance of Eliza, which I think Keelan and I both agreed was one of the better performances, if not the best.
I think the best. It's so good.
I feel like if you took out Philippa Sue from Eliza and put in an actor who was able to get by, who was able to do fine, who was able to fit in, who was able to blend with the rest of the ensemble, I think that it wouldn't take too much away from it because just of the sheer power that the ensemble has. I feel like that there are standout characters, or I wouldn't say they're standout characters, I'd say there's standout moments for the characters. Because like when you think of the characters, you think of a specific moment for them. At least with me, like with Eliza, I think of her song "Burn," her solo at the end,
Oh God.
like which is gut wrenching. But I don't think of like her journey as a character from start to finish. I think of how the show progresses and how she fits into that. You know?
Yeah.
If I may. Okay, so I think you're right to a certain extent, and I think that the show definitely puts a priority on its narrative, which is a theme of the show as well, is the priority of a narrative rather than individuality. So I think that might be intentional to a certain extent. But I think that instead of being a show with no characters, I think it's a show with 3 characters. Because I think Eliza, Alexander, and Aaron Burr are the only 3 people that have arcs. But I think they are characters because they do have arcs, because they do change.
But like, what can you tell me about them other than their like stuff about their jobs?
Yeah, because, okay, well, Alexander Hamilton starts off incredibly narcissistic and very, like, but by the end, the death of his son, for example, transforms his character a little bit to the point where if he were the same Alexander Hamilton as at the beginning of the show, he wouldn't have fired his gun in the air in his duel with Burr, right? That was a change. That was a change of mind based on things that happened to him.
But he still gets in the duel with him.
I know, but
So
then he
he's still
changes his
very,
mind
like,
out of
proud.
regret and fear that he's gained throughout his life, throughout his career, and also through the personal transformation of seeing his son die in front of him.
And also the way that the duels worked back then, this is so stupid. If someone challenged you to a duel, you like literally could not refuse, which sucks ass. Because if someone was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you," you're like, "Okay, fine. Guess that's how that
it's
goes."
It's like a matter of honor or whatever.
Honestly, yeah. And it like, in order to continue to hold his reputation as Alexander Hamilton, he couldn't say no to Burr. So.
But I think that's definitely character. I think Eliza's character goes through quite a lot, and it's not as much about her job as much as I think she starts off as someone who doesn't have an identity. She's kind of living in her older sister's shadow, right? And she finally meets someone that starts to give her something. You know, she has a kid which starts to give her something, but she isn't there yet. She wants to do more with her life. She feels like she hasn't done enough. And it's the end where her character really blossoms. You see those seeds planted throughout of the idea that she could be doing more, and at the end she's given this opportunity to do more. And I feel like that gives her drive as a character throughout because she's searching for something. She has a goal and she achieves it. And then same thing with Aaron Burr. He's such a cautious person that it prevents him from getting what he wants the entire time. And all his songs, I find, as much as it's about like, I want to be in politics, his songs are always about the idea that he feels left out and he wants to be included, to the point where his anger builds up so much from being deterred that as a person he can't, like, he's going to challenge this man who he once considered a friend to a duel, potentially killing him and risking his own death for his own, like, satisfaction, you know?
He was the one that I would agree is like a fleshed out character, I guess.
I would almost call Burr the main character.
Not in terms of like they have character, but in terms of like he propels the story based on who he is and traits about him. Because
I agree.
his like jealousy is like pushes everything and it pushes their dynamic together. But I don't feel like that's the case with the other ones because like like Eliza is just like it's all that stuff at the end is just like, and then I decided to do all this stuff, and you can say like that's a resolution for her, and it is, but it's like it doesn't feel like it feels like a just tagged on note, you know, instead of like.
I disagree because she's always saying, "I want to be enough." Like her entire like arc throughout is that like she
Would
doesn't
that be
feel like
enough?
she's
Yeah.
ever been enough, and she wants to be enough for Alexander, the person she always wants to impress, the person that she's always felt kind of like that she needs to impress. And in the end, she realizes like her character arc is a shift away from wanting to do for others, and she wants to do stuff for herself and drive her own story and be part of the narrative. She takes herself out of it, puts herself back into it. That's her arc.
And it's because of her that we know Hamilton's history, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
She carried on the Hamilton story and continued to tell it. Exactly, yeah.
It just felt to me like her arc was like, I want to be something. I want to be like an individual and do things that I want to do. And then at the end, it was like, and then she did, because she
but is
was
that so bad?
Yeah, I think it's
grieving.
also it ties into the fact that she wanted to be something, but she didn't want to let that something be I was married to Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like, she wanted to continue Hamilton's legacy. However, she wanted to be able to insert herself into that history as well. Mm-hmm. Because, I don't know about you guys, but up until watching Hamilton, I had no idea, like... Well, I knew a little bit about Hamilton himself, but I didn't know anything about Eliza Schuyler or, like, anything related to the Schuyler sisters. And they're such a huge part of this play. Mm-hmm. So I think that just goes to show that Eliza's importance is bar none.
I read somewhere that the reason the play shouldn't be called Alexander is because it's equally her story as it is his. It's called Hamilton. It's it's the story of their family. It's not the story of just him.
Yeah, fair.
Which I agree with. I don't know. I think that they're characters because they do have goals, and then they achieve them. They have arcs, But most of everyone else doesn't. All the other characters don't.
And it's also because the characters, like, you'll see, take Daveed Diggs, for example. He plays Lafayette in the first act, and his arc is, like, basically a flat line in the entire first act. And then Jefferson, you see a bit more variety, but
there's no arc there, really.
There's no arc, really.
Plays a character.
Yeah,
I do love him though. He's my. I think he's actually my favorite performance. Like he's so
great
good.
In Blind Spotting. That's the movie he's in.
He
was in Velvet Buzzsaw.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And he's on Netflix. I just came across this randomly. He's in the movie Snowpiercer.
Oh yeah,
there's a Snowpiercer series on Netflix with Daveed Diggs.
Man, they didn't promote that. Didn't that come out this
year?
No.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen a single piece of media for that.
Neither have I. I only came across it accidentally.
It must be terrible then.
It's probably not good.
Netflix will not promote it at all. That's insane.
I put it on my list, which means I'll probably never watch it. Because every time I do that, I just forget about it and never watch anything on my list.
You really don't.
Nope.
I still stand by what I said about it seems like things just, it's like a series of events,
I know, I agree.
More than
it is the whole play is like a montage.
So it's kind of weird,
but I don't think that
because of that it occupies this weird gray area. It's not necessarily bad. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it works, but it just, I don't think it has like all of the depth that it seems like it does in the moment while you're watching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I guess, but I don't know. I see those arcs, but it's not, but like also, I guess that's just not the point, Like, you're not watching Hamilton to try to see a character study of Aaron Burr. You're watching it to, like, it's the history of the founding fathers, right? Like, that's the idea of the
This is
show.
the same with any musical, though. You're not going to see... actually, no. Never mind. I take that
I think
back.
you would be going to see a character study of Hamilton if you're going to see Hamilton.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've never gone into a musical looking for, like, a character study. I just don't think that's what the genre usually indicates.
Well, I'm not saying it necessarily has to be a character study, but I'm saying, like, that's an important aspect of it, of any.
But I think they do have character.
I
don't know. I think they do.
I'm just saying that's not within the play itself. That is not the main thrust of it. At least I
No.
didn't. Which is strange. But I can see I can see your perspectives on this.
I'm glad.
So
I'm glad.
I don't
And I
know.
can see yours.
I can see yours too,
thank you.
but I disagree with it.
But you're fucking wrong, is what.
Just know that
Did you guys
Sure.
watch anything else recently?
I watched The King of Comedy yesterday. That was very
Masterpiece.
good.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it.
We're on our
a good movie.
Scorsese kick again right now. We're back
Keelan's
on
on
it.
like
Martin
8
Scorsese
different
kick.
kicks right now.
Oh
You
boy!
know,
All right.
You
I
it's
gotta-
just
I
kids
gotta
if you watch
finish
a
my
movie
Coen Bros.
by a director.
I gotta. Well, no, because I'm trying to like finish Coen Bros, Lynch, and like fucking
Yeah.
Scorsese. And that's
Will,
those are my
we
big
should
three.
rank the
the kicks?
Keelan Ellis's kicks.
Yes.
What was his best
Kicks
one? I
rank.
think it was Bomb Back Kick
Okay.
20. That's my favorite.
Yes,
That's the
that
best
was
one.
next level. That was
next level. You
incredible
also-
I watched
stuff.
a lot of them.
You did. You watched them like
You know
very
what? I went on a
consecutively.
solid Woody Allen kick for a while.
That's true as well. You did. You watched Cafe Society, the greatest
Hmm.
movie of all time.
Shut up.
Yeah, your favorite. You discovered your favorite.
Your favorite
of all
movie.
time.
Cafe Society.
Yeah.
The most like
Cafe Society.
okay movie.
Oh, don't. Well,
It's
tell us
so
how you really
aggressively
feel.
mediocre.
So in that Scorsese kick, what else did you watch?
Let me see here.
Well, so far at
The
least.
Aviator. The Aviator's so
The
funny.
Aviator.
You have to.
Oh,
watch
The
it.
Aviator's so good.
Okay,
We all
yeah.
watched
You
Palm
gotta
Springs
watch
together.
this movie.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah, Palm.
Oh, Ben, you
Palm
watched
Springs is good.
Palm
Italian
Springs.
American too.
I watched Italian American under Keelan Ellis's Alice. His what am I trying to say here? His
Suggestion?
request. Yes, his request.
That works too.
It was
They're
great.
literally my
Like,
family. It's awesome.
It was great, man. It's just, and I said
Yeah.
in my review, it's something about listening to old Italian people tell stories that's just so comforting, man. Like I felt so safe watching that.
Can I tell you a funny story briefly about my nono?
Please
do. So okay. Oh, I have a lot of good stories about my Italian grandfather. Some of which I feel like I should save for later down the line when we're running out of good stories because there's some good ones. But here's one. I'm sitting with him one day at his him and my nona's house, and he's telling me a story about back in Italy in the 40s or 30s. And it would have been the 40s. It would have been the late 40s. And he's telling me about all the different islands off the coast of Italy. And he goes, here I have one girlfriend, and here I have one girlfriend, oh, here I have one girlfriend. He had 16 girlfriends at one time. The man was a
Holy
Casanova.
shit.
He would spend his whole day at the beach and would go from like girl to girl down the beach.
Oh my God.
All of whom were dating him. Like, it wasn't like he was a creepy guy. Like, well, he was a weird guy, but he was just dating like 16 girls at once.
That's
No, they did not
insane.
know about each other.
Yeah,
it was
no,
the 40s.
yeah.
It was a weird time to exist.
Wow.
But my nono was just like, he was a handsome man. He was like tall and very, very, very skinny and very like toned. Man was cleaned up with the ladies. Right? So I'm starting to tune out a little bit because, it's very relaxing to hear an old Italian person talk like he said. And then I come to, and I just hear him say, syphilis is a terrible disease. And I just look at him and I go, what?
What did you just say?
Syphilis is a terrible disease. So I missed the context. I much later find out he's talking about his friend.
Oh dear.
But it took
okay.
me like 20 minutes of being like, yeah, wait, but hold on, where did the syphilis come in? Like, it took me a while to figure out where in the story that belonged. Yeah, so
I
his
can
friend
imagine
had,
why.
His friend had syphilis, not him. Which
Well, that
is,
sucks for his friend.
Yeah, sucks for his friend. But oh my god, that was a scare.
That I would
was
be
quite a-
terrified.
That was quite a moment. And then, right before he was able to tell me, my mom came and was like, "Guys, dinner!" And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "No!"
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The man lives for three things: food, soccer, and crosswords. And I love him. He's
That's
great.
perfect.
Wow.
That guy lives the
Great
life.
guy.
I aspire to live my life like he does.
Yeah. He never wears a shirt. He goes to bed at like 9 o'clock. Last night he watched Paul Blart Mall Cop. He called me. And it was very funny. It's very funny. I love him. He's sharp as a whip too. He hasn't lost anything. He's 89 years old. The
That's
man's a
amazing.
gem. I love him. Anyways, that's a good story right there.
That is a good story.
Thank
you for
Italians,
sharing.
Italians,
Italians,
mamma mia.
that sounds fun.
I think I'm watching Catch Me If You Can tonight.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's a good call.
I'm very
you watched
excited.
First Cow.
Oh
That was my
yeah,
First Cow.
Yeah.
First Cow was phenomenal. I loved
Yeah?
it.
Where's it
I
ranked
gave
on the year?
It's my number, like technically. Okay, it's because of Hamilton. I just gave Hamilton 5 stars because there's no way I could be objective about it. I'm
Fair.
sorry. Like I knew I was gonna give it 5 stars going into it. I don't care. So it's currently my number 1 film of the year. But here's my thing with that. I don't know if it's like the number. It's like a. I'm gonna count it as like my number 1 film of the year because it's probably gonna be my number 1. So technically, right now, First Cow is my number 1.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's such like a tender, safe movie. Like it made me feel so comfortable watching it. Like it was just beautiful. The cinematography is amazing. The performances are amazing. The script is amazing. The score is just like these really amazing ukulele undertones, which are just like beautiful. They add so much. I loved it. Like I was totally captivated by it. It took me a while to get into. It started off a little bit slow. I mean, the whole thing is slow. It's very slow paced, but
How
the
long
beginning
is
it's just over 2 hours.
Okay.
That director makes very slow movies. That's like her thing.
Yeah,
But if you can get into them, they're good.
like without giving too much away, the first shot of the movie is a boat going across the screen, and it takes like 2 minutes, and I'm just like, oh, so it's this kind of movie, eh?
Yeah.
So again, it took me about like maybe 15-20 minutes to like get into it, but once I was into it, I was invested. Like I was like, this is great.
I'm very excited to see it.
So I would highly recommend. We
I'm
bought
gonna watch
this
it tomorrow morning.
we rented it on the TIFF digital renting service. I don't know what you'd call it.
Yeah.
Tiff,
Which
tiff,
I
tiff,
assume-
tiff, 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 tiff.
Which I assume they're
Support
going to
the-
use for the actual festival.
That would make sense. I think that's a good system.
And it's well designed.
It's
I didn't have
really
any
nice.
issues with it.
It looks
It is
Yeah,
really
it looks
nice.
lovely.
Yeah.
I wish they like. I genuinely hope that even when things go back to normal, they keep this because I feel like that would be a really like. Imagine if like all of us are over at Will's house or something like that, and we kind of want to go see like a movie, but we don't really want to go all the way out. But like we kind of wanted to watch it anyways. We could just rent it and then watch it.
Exactly,
At Will's,
yeah.
Like obviously you always want to watch it on the bigger screen, but if we like don't have time to get down there or something like that, we can still watch the movie all together, which
Exactly,
would be like really
yeah.
nice. And still support the business because I really care about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the first
No
movie you're
pirating
going to see in
First Cow.
theaters?
Also, because they laid off half their staff this like
Yeah.
a month ago, which really sucks.
That
so,
sucks so much.
You know, I really
Need to
want to
I
make
mean,
sure
like-
they don't go under.
100
I partially understand and stuff because
Yeah.
of everything, but like, damn, that bites. Like that sucks.
But like, especially
Yeah.
because TIFF's a non-for-profit and they're mainly just like funded, but they're not making money. So you know, I want to
Right.
support them as much as possible. So that
So
we
sure,
can-
I'll pay $14 to watch First Cow. That's fine, Tiff. That's okay
Yeah.
with me.
yeah, we're gonna alternate who orders stuff. It'll be a nice little system. I
It's-
like this.
Exactly. It's great.
I like this. I like
I
it.
I
like
like
it.
this. But yeah, First Cow is beautiful. You guys are gonna love it. I hope.
Yeah.
Very excited to watch
Last
it.
time I said you're gonna love something, it was The Five Bloods, and Will did not love The Five Bloods.
I haven't seen it yet.
So my opinions may not always be correct with what I think you'll like, but we'll see.
My
I'm the
2020
king of-
watch list is stacking up.
Yeah,
I've still
same.
got to watch The Lovebirds, which I want to see, even though it's probably going to be fine. I want
Yeah.
to see the Trip to Greece very badly. I want to see The Five Bloods, and I want to see First Cow.
I'm the king
wanna
of
see,
giving things that Ben really loves, like mediocre ratings.
Yes,
Every
it's
time,
true.
just to drive me insane.
Yeah. I watched The Revenant last night.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
what do you
yeah.
think of it?
I wanted to watch The Tree of Life, but then it
So you just watched
it
knockoff
wasn't
Tree
it
of
wasn't
Life.
working.
Oh
I
right,
would've
I have
watched
to
it.
purchase a new copy of that for you. I'm going to purchase it right now.
There were some technical difficulties, and I
Same
I
with when
decided-
I tried to watch Dazed and Confused that Keelan has also purchased.
Really, there's audio with it?
No,
audio
there
issues?
was a different issue. I'll tell you later. But
Apple
we'll
has to
continue.
get on this.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was okay. I like long movies now. I was talking with Jack, friend of the show, Jack, who I've been watching a bunch of extended versions of movies with, like mostly the like those terrible DC movies. We watched all the like 3-hour cuts of all those. It was just like, oh my god. But there's something kind of fun about it, just getting in for an intense slog.
Yeah.
Fair.
So The Revenant is longer than The Tree of Life by like 20 minutes.
Wow.
And it was... I didn't like it, but I respect a lot of the stuff in there. At some point, it got kind of funny because of all the stuff that... Keelan is...
We lost Keelan
okay.
for a moment. He's back.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back. I turned on my purchasing security, and my account went down for a second.
That's all good, Keelan.
Yeah.
Like, the bit when he gets... There's very little to spoil, other than, like...
Also, Ben, do you care anymore? It's been out for, like, 5 years, and it's very straightforward.
No, go ahead.
I can spoil it? Okay. Because
Yeah, no, that's
the
fine. I don't care.
story is he's Leonardo DiCaprio. I always say Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is he's like a
fur trapper.
No, well, he's not a fur. That's not his job. Like his job is to like guide this fur trapping group around the lands and like help them gather furs and make it back safely. And then he gets mauled by
like
a
a fur
bear.
trapper. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, like a fur trapper. He gets mauled by a bear. Tom Hardy is like, oh,
I forgot Tom Hardy's in this.
I forgot
You
Tom
can't
Hardy's
understand
in
a
it,
word
yeah.
he says.
he says pelts a lot, and he will not.
You got the pelts. You got the pelts.
Pelts. Keelan and I, when we were in Montreal about 5 years ago, we made this video called The Revenant Abridged, where I play Leonardo DiCaprio's Hugh Glass, and I'm just in a courtyard in Montreal, and I'm like crawling around and like gnawing at things. and there was, I hadn't seen it, Keelan saw it, but there were so many things that I recalled from that when I was watching the movie, like Leonardo DiCaprio yelling "Get to the boat" at the beginning, and the very ending, which I didn't understand while we were making it. It was a strange experience, but yeah, there's just so many horrible things that happen to him. It's just like this montage of like, oh god, that sucks. Now he was mauled by a bear. The bear attack is so long that it's kind of funny because it's just like, it's like he gets mauled by the bear, and then he shoots the bear, but it doesn't die, and it keeps mauling him. And if I were him, I would wait at that point for his boys to come, including Dom Hall Gleeson, who is in it for some reason.
Dom Hall Gleeson,
because they do come. Because they heard his
Gleeson.
shot and they come. But then he tries to kill the bear again, and then he gets horrifically mauled again. And then he has to like eat raw meat, and he falls down a waterfall, and then he climbs inside a horse. He like falls off a cliff in the horse and then cuts the horse open and takes all of the horse's guts out in two goes, and then he climbs in and has a nice snuggle with the horse.
Doesn't he also eat raw fish at some point? And he's actually like a vegetarian, so he hasn't eaten meat or anything like that.
You
in years.
literally see him pull the fish out of the water, and then he instantly takes a bite out of it.
And that was real. That's all real.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it would
really
be. It's
impressive.
Leo.
And his rasping is next level. I'll tell you
Oh,
that
yeah.
much. But it's so like what is this, like, why are we doing this? Why did this movie need to be made? It looks beautiful because it's Terrence Malick's cinematographer.
That makes sense.
Oh, it is,
all shot with natural light too, which is really impressive.
Wow, that's amazing.
It looks incredible, but
Yeah.
it's like that's it. That's all there is to it.
Well, I think
all it
Leo's
has going
performance
for
is
it.
genuinely incredible.
He does, yeah. He.
I'm still sad he won.
He
I'm still sad he won
portrays
for that instead of
being
Wolf
in
of Wall
pain.
Street, though.
Yeah,
I think he was. I think Wolf. Of what
pretty
I've seen of
one-note.
him, I think Wolf of Wall Street is his best.
It's a
Wolf of
very
Wall Street.
good note, but it's one note. It's just him
It's
being
one
like,
wolf.
The moment where
pretty
he
accurate.
cauterizes his wound with like a burning stick is the most
No, he-
upsetting thing.
He pours gunpowder on his neck,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he blows up his neck.
Yeah.
And it
To
works.
cauterize a wound. It works. The man's
works.
insane.
And then he has a final battle at the end with Tom Hardy, which is weird.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the final battle. That was crazy.
I enjoy movies with final battles that don't feel like they should.
So good.
I know what you're talking about.
I also know what you're talking about because Will decided to spoil it for me.
You told me. I
know, I don't care.
If you wanted to hear it.
Are we all talking about what I think
those
we're
are my
talking
thoughts
about?
on The Revenant.
Yes, we're talking about
think
the
we
Five
are.
Bloods.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
okay.
thought, but I was just making sure.
I'm glad I
That
watched
is
it
a
though. because
final battle.
I watched something else
You're not
recently.
gonna know until you watch it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I rewatched The Social Network.
Oh yeah.
Well inebriated. That was
He
weird.
was high
It
on
was
marijuana.
No, it was like I was coming down from it, and I was just lying in my bed, and I was browsing Netflix, and I was like, The Social Network popped up. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's watch The Social Network. And it was great. It was awesome. It's weird that I've seen this movie probably 5 times now, and it's weird that the first 2 times I just didn't like it, and now I love it.
Yeah.
Now it's like in my top
Now
40.
you can join us for our quotathon when we all just
Yes.
sit there and go, we're sitting in chairs.
And we're sitting in
Whoops,
chairs.
broke your 300.
Just broke your 300.
Broke your 335-year-old doorknob.
Whoops.
We're
By the
sitting
looks
in
of it, you're
chairs.
about to sell me a Brooks Brothers franchise.
Great
That movie is
Great
phenomenal. Great movie.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm so mad at myself for not liking it. Like I don't know what I was thinking. It was just I don't know what happened. It was just I watched it and I was like, this is not good. And now I watched it and I'm like, this is good. I guess I just developed taste.
It's good.
I guess that it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
And then I think that's all
Yeah.
I watched. Oh, I watched the new. This doesn't really count. I watched the new Jim Jeffries stand-up special on Netflix. It was
Your
pretty
dad,
good.
Jim Jeffries, yes.
My dad, Jim Jeffries. That guy's. I find him so funny. And this one was pretty good. All of his specials are like pretty good. I just think he's a really funny guy, but his specials could just like take it up a notch a little bit. I don't know. But it was good. It was really good.
I would recommend that you check
Palm
out
Springs.
the Pete Davidson special.
Alive from New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arguably,
I like it a lot.
Arguably, what Will?
We watched Palm Springs. I think you already mentioned that we watched.
Oh,
Palm
yeah,
Springs,
we-
but
Yeah,
We all
I
watched.
have,
It was-
I
it
have
was
quite good.
Nothing. Yeah, there's
It's
like
very
almost nothing
harmless.
you can say about it other than
It's
like,
very
it was
harmless.
really good.
Like,
it was
the most
It was
harmless
well done.
movie.
It was funny and it was charming.
most-
and it was
the-
sweet.
The most
It was cute.
insightful thing I could say about it is that it would have killed at South by Southwest. That would have been like everyone's favorite movie at South by. Everyone would have
yeah?
been like, "Oh my god, have you seen this new rom-com with Andy Samberg in Austin, Texas? Bro, what the fuck? Crazy."
Well, they loved
right?
it. They
That
loved it
would
at
have been
Sundance.
Everyone's
Would you say it
favorite.
was?
Yeah.
It was the biggest purchase ever at Sundance
Yeah,
by Hulu,
like
right?
$27
Yeah.
million dollars.
Insane.
That's $27 million dollars they're not gonna make back.
Nope.
That's $48 million less than Disney paid for Hamilton. Insane.
Fucking hell, man. And
Well,
they probably
think
made it
about
back in
Think
the
about
first
that.
weekend.
Oh, they made it back first weekend, 100%. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's the biggest payout for a film ever, right?
I think so. It's got to be.
No,
Yeah, I think so.
It's got to be.
like acquisition.
almost
Oh,
For a
maybe,
single
yeah.
film?
How much was it?
acquisition of
27?
a movie.
Or sorry, 75 million. Did they pay?
Largest acquisition of a single
there's-
movie. I'm gonna look it up.
While Keelan looks this up,
like
hey
The
Will, how's it
Irishman
going?
was-
Yep, Hamilton.
funded.
Disney paid $75 million for
Yeah.
worldwide movie rights to Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, biggest film acquisition deal of all time.
Wow.
I guess that's like if you buy a completed film versus if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
fund
yeah.
a movie.
Oh yeah, funding a movie is
like-
so different because that's like a
So much
budget because you're
cheaper.
putting it like it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
picking up a final
And it's also
product.
a risk. Like it's like the movie could
Yeah,
be shit
exactly.
and you're paying for it.
Right.
Like Slice.
I kind of wish it hadn't been Disney. I
Yeah, I
it
wish
hadn't
that
been
too.
It makes sense
I
that
wish
it
they
was
hadn't
Disney
bleeped
'cause
it.
it's
It was so
Lin.
distracting.
I
Yeah.
know. When
Lynn's
they
got that
bleeped out
Disney brand.
motherfucker, they said like there's a line that's
Yeah.
like two motherfucking Democratic Republicans, but they go like two Democratic Republicans.
That was so weird. Yeah,
it was so weird
Yeah.
the way they censored
Was
it.
the bit when Hamilton like throws the shit down? He's like, and he swears.
Oh,
at
that's
Aaron
censored
Burr.
in the
Was
play.
that-
That's censored in the actual.
Oh, it
play.
is. Okay.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes me feel better.
That actually happens. It's because otherwise it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
My kids
it's
are
funny in the
watching
play.
this. Tone it down.
My
they didn't
kids
they didn't censor-
Cassandra and Libby are watching this, and they're staying up past their bedtime, of 9 p.m. here on the East Coast. I live in Maine, and I go to the Democratic Convention every year. My name is Marge.
No.
Alexander, my name is Hercules Mulligan.
Who lives in like the Midwest, whose family is secretly like a white supremacist family.
I like it.
Dear Lord.
Immigrants,
Yeah.
we get the job done.
Yeah, he's
That was-
one of
that
them
was
is
a great
French. I feel like they abused the word immigrant in Hamilton a little bit. It's like sure he's not from America, but
Well, I mean, technically he is an immigrant if he came from France.
like
and lives in
technically.
America. Well, and,
But as
and
I was
where did
saying to
Hamilton come
Keelan
from?
yesterday,
He came from the No, he came.
Why do
from
they not
the
call
Dominican
Lafayette
Republic?
an immigrant?
They do.
Because he is.
Do they call
Yeah, 'cause
Lafayette an
him and-
immigrant?
Him and Hamilton go immigrants.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got the job done.
Oh, right, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
And it's
And
like
then-
a big fuck you
and then
Trump moment.
somebody
'Cause
steps
it was-
on stage
it
and
was a fuck
says-
you Trump moment.
Well,
Well, technically, he's not actually like he's from France.
like he is an immigrant.
Like, he is an immigrant, I agree.
Yesterday, he is an immigrant, but that's just not generally the connotation that we bring to the word today, with like the social like struggle aspect of it. And I feel like the play is very socially
yeah.
aware, and so those are like clashing, like you know what I'm saying. I loved it. I thought it was
Well,
great.
I'm not a racist. It was just.
I feel like
I was just-
yeah. I agree with you, but I feel like that line was more of a nod and a wink to the cast rather than about the characters because
Oh, fair, yeah.
like like
I
they're
just thought it was
actually
going to be like. I just thought it was a
descendants of
fuck you to
immigrants.
Trump. Honestly, like I thought it was just
That
like
too.
Hamilton. Lynn was like, "Oh yeah, these guys are both immigrants. Let's have a funny line about immigrants because we hate."
Yeah,
their
was
I thought
one
the
bit
constant
which I
reference
think
to immigrant
was-
it felt more like a social thing of the time trying to make a point rather than
That's
to try to
true.
make a point about Alexander Hamilton.
It was a more
or
prominent.
I think it was trying to like bring out the idea that like one of the founding fathers of America was not an American, and yet this is the way you treat immigrants now. Like I thought that was kind of the point it was trying to make, and it was trying to like poke holes in the current ideology around the word immigrant by showing that
Yeah.
there was one who was a founding father of the states, no matter what, like because he is technically. So it's like pointing out the flaws in current logic. That's how I
I
think.
guess it can kind of go either way.
Yeah,
I see
I
your
agree.
point.
we've spent
And I
way
kind of agree
too
with
long
it.
on this.
Yeah.
You know,
Immigrants,
I
we
also-
get the job. That's one of my favorite lines in Knives Out now. I think that's hilarious now that I know the context. That's so
Oh, yeah.
funny. Because what's he, like, fucking Irish? Like, shut up. That's so
My-
stupid.
My least favorite.
And then he
line
points to
in
the
the
other
book
white
is-
guy in the room.
My least
Sorry,
favorite
Will, what were
line
you
was where somebody is talking about like George Washington named his cat after Alexander Hamilton or something.
says, "That's true?"
And he says, "That's true." And in that moment, I was just like, it felt a little bit like I'm
that is a
smart,
little cringy. I'm not gonna lie.
and I wrote this play,
What song is that in again?
but I loved it. I thought it was great.
Oh, who
I have
knows?
no idea.
Will does not care.
Yeah, Will does not.
Yeah, I did really.
I'm
I
not
keep
a
bashing
nerd.
it, but I really liked it.
I was saying
I
that
really
Will, I
liked
was
it.
saying that
you
one.
hate Hamilton.
Yes, you caught me. I hate Hamilton.
I was saying that when it
are you doing,
reopens back in
Keanu?
Toronto, we
I'm
should
sorry,
see it.
I'm repairing a notepad here.
Yeah.
Oh my,
Sorry, continue?
good job. I was saying that when it comes back to Toronto, we should all go see it.
Yes, I would love to.
I think that
I'd
might
love to see
be
it live.
easier said than done, but
Yeah.
I would
It would be
happy to
easier
see
said
it
than
in
done.
person.
Well, I know with Dear Evan Hansen, they did student rush tickets, where if you logged on at a certain time, you could get tickets for like $25. Not great seats,
That's
but
not bad at all.
like
That's
I saw
clever.
Dear Evan Hansen in like the what's it called, like little boxes, the little like
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the sides they have like little platforms and there's like two people in each box kind of thing. So I saw it in there, but I didn't know. I was like, oh, this is sick. I'm seeing it in the box. This is great. But I didn't know that's where they put speakers to be blasting the music out of. And I also didn't know that I had mono when I went to go see it.
Yeah.
It was like the first day I started feeling symptoms. I literally finished my dinner, and I was like, I have the worst fucking headache of my life, and I feel awful. And then I sat down in my chair and I saw this gigantic speaker, like the size of me, right next to me, and I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be the worst thing ever. And every like drum hit, every low note was just injected into my soul. Like I felt it throughout my entire body. It was ridiculous. It was just like boom, boom, and all the while my head was pounding. I still loved it though. I still loved it.
I want to
so-
see that show a lot.
It's phenomenal. I've said it all before, but it's my favorite thing ever. Phenomenal. And it's gone.
Phenomenal.
It's not in Toronto
Phenomenal.
anymore.
Phenomenal.
Nothing is in Toronto anymore. Wow, this
I
really
hope they
derailed.
found
Last
it.
thing I watched.
Oh,
I'm sure
they're.
they did,
I don't know
but
if
they're
I.
just never gonna
Oh,
post it.
oh, well, you know they're making a movie adaptation of it, right?
Yeah. But like I hope they film
but
the
here's
play.
the thing. Yes, I hope so too. But here's the thing: the film adaptation, is I think Ben Platt is going to reprise his role as Evan Hansen, as
the titular role, the Tempest.
and
yes.
and I think Caitlin Dever is playing the female lead, and it's
That's
directed by the guy who directed Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Neither have I. I've heard it's good though.
I haven't seen it, but
cool.
I love it. I love that movie.
But I've heard so I have high hopes for the Dear Evan Hansen movie whenever it comes out, probably in 3 years.
Nothing's gonna come out for the next year.
No.
We're just gonna be stuck with First Cow.
Well, we're gonna get
First
backlog of
First
all the
Cow.
movies that were supposed to come out this year. We're gonna get so
2021
many
is
of
gonna be
those
the
next
most
year.
stacked year of all time.
It's gonna be insane, bro. I just I'm thinking of ending things. I've been waiting on it for 2 months.
They released
Coming
a
out
movie
November.
for it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, there you go.
Or
They
no,
said it was
September,
coming
isn't
out.
it?
Well,
That was a
at
much
first they
less
said,
excited reaction than I thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Hold
just
on, I'm
wanted
looking
to.
it up.
I just wanted some confirmation. Because they said it was coming out in the first quarter of 2020, and it just never did. And then
Officially
I was-
released September 4th, 2020.
Easy. Okay, I'm excited for that. That's like one of my
Noted.
more anticipated movies of the year.
We all gotta watch that together.
Yeah, and then we all gotta go
Look
see
at that
Doom in
cast.
theaters in
A
December.
fun party
The cast
movie.
is crazy. Yeah. I'm thinking of
That'll be
ending
like-
things.
That'll be the night before TIFF, so we can pregame for TIFF. Great.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'll hopefully be in town
Easy.
for something.
Oh, you gotta come back
Assuming
for
things are
TIFF.
better.
Even if we can't
I
go
think
to
I-
it, like...
I think I will be.
Okay, because we probably like I'm probably not going to go to a theater unless somehow something changes by then. But I'm probably not going to go in person. But I will happily hunker down with you guys for 5 days and watch movies nonstop from
Sounds
the
good to me.
festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say whether or not I'm gonna go to the theater just because it's so hard. This virus has proved that it's literally unpredictable.
Yeah,
But it's just,
Literally.
I think if I'm allowed to go to a theater by certain standards, I know they're gonna like obviously they're planning on opening some theaters, but I want to meet certain standards before I figure it out. So I'm not gonna say whether or not I'm gonna go to a theater, but I would like to. I will say.
I'm interested to
it's
see
hard
what
to know.
they do to make it safe.
If it's mandatory
I'd
masks
like
and all
to,
that, then
I'll
I'm
say
cool
that.
with it.
I would.
Yeah, I say-
well,
I'd
no,
s-
it is.
I would like
yeah.
to.
I'd like to see Tenet, but
I'd like to see Tenet.
you know,
Tenet would be
Well,
good to
hey.
see.
Tenet would
I'll
be good
see
to see.
Tenet
Let's hope that
eventually.
happens. Tenet.
Yeah, one day we'll see Tenet.
Tenet is the
that's
sequel
enough for
to
me.
Inception.
yeah.
It's about 9/11. We all know.
I also
It's
watched
about
The
9/11.
Departed. That's the last thing I'll say.
What'd you
And
watch?
The Departed was great.
I watched The Departed.
Departed.
Yeah, I love The Departed. It's a great movie.
I should watch it.
I watched. No, that's it. I'm done. That's it. That's all
Nice.
I got.
Yeah.
Nice, Keelan.
Next
watched,
week, Alex is
um,
going to join us on the pod.
Yeah, woo! Friend of the show,
Who's
Alex
that?
F. Alex
F, baby.
FMO.
Alex F, who might be moving to Calgary in September.
Whoa. Is he still doing online school
Yeah.
for Ryerson then?
Yeah, and then he's going to come
Okay.
back the next. Like just while it's online, he'll move to Calgary
Makes
and then he'll
sense.
come back.
Why
He gave me a scare
Is
last
it
night.
cheaper?
Well, he's from Calgary.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Is
Well,
it
he's from
cheaper?
Russia originally, and then he moved to Calgary, and then he moved here.
I mean, it probably is cheaper.
Yeah.
Because Toronto's
probably.
insane. It's not
Yeah.
a lot is
But,
not a lot is more expensive.
Yeah, so he's gonna go there, but he's got to come back because we got a feature film that we're like right on the cusp of starting production for. So he'll come back whenever things
Hell
open up
yeah.
again. We'll make that, and then we have another feature film that you guys have read the treatment for that we're very excited to work on as well.
Yes. I think I know what you're talking about.
We got a lot of projects going right now. Very
We
exciting
do.
stuff.
We
A lot
do.
of projects. So many projects.
Lots of
Shall-
pans in the fire.
a lot of projects.
Shall we
That's
leave
my
it there?
impression of
We're
that guy
approaching.
that Rob Brydon does an impression of, but I don't know his name. So many
nice.
projects. Great projects.
So many projects. Ben, what you say?
I saying we're approaching the 53-minute mark. Shall we wrap it up?
Okay, I'll wrap it up.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Check out KeithLovesMovies.com. Check out Will's YouTube
That's
channel. Check out my YouTube channel. Check out TikTok. Ben's on there somewhere.
Wait. Before we go, I have to read one more thing because I don't
Okay.
think
Go
I
for
mentioned
it.
this last time. When
Go for it.
because I posted in December we
yeah.
all watched Uncut Gems at my house when like through a screen.
Oh!
uh,
Yes.
and I recorded Ben reacting to the end of it because Keelan and I saw it at TIFF, so we knew it was going to
Yeah.
happen, and we knew that it was like shocking. So I wanted to get the video of it, and then I posted it on YouTube unlisted. And then when we had our big like day of content where we made a bunch of random meaningless stuff,
You can see
Ben
some of
was,
them
like,
on
posted,
various YouTube channels.
and so it went public on my channel, but it showed up as a new video. And I guess because the video's title is Ben Jeffries Reacts to Uncut Gems, and that's like the most like algorithm-y title. It has 2.6 thousand views now, which is like infinitely more than anything else on my channel.
Do you have
it's
any more
ridiculous.
subscribers, Will?
Yeah, I have gotten some. Not
Okay,
huge
no
amount,
way.
but like 5 more. Because and there are so many people commenting like, "Wow, this is like I love Uncut Gems and I love the ending of Uncut Gems," and it's kind of cool. But then this one guy, and this is like one of the greatest.
Call him
things
out. Say his
ever.
name. Say his name.
This guy named Sandals Suck, which bold take.
They don't.
He said,
Yeah,
bold
they
take.
don't.
The fuck
I love
is Ben
Sandals.
Jeffries. Why the fuck should we care? Question mark. He has 11 likes on it.
With
because-
11
'cause I-
likes on it,
11
damn.
likes.
Well, because I
like,
pinned
damn.
it.
True.
Because it's at the top now. It's the top comment anyone sees.
He
And
highlighted
then,
it. Yeah.
So Ben replied and said, "Hi," with a heart. And then this other guy said, "Just can't enjoy a reaction video." And then this guy said,
was like, "Thanks, buddy."
He put the moron's name in the title, like we are supposed to recognize this douchebag and supposed to care what his reactions to Uncut Gems was. Nobody gives a shit.
And I like the added touch of edited. Like he edited that. He needed to make sure his
edited it?
point came across crystal
way.
clear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, buddy,
And
you
then-
still watched it. Like,
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Commented on it
And also-
twice.
Yeah, this guy. If this guy had watched Conference Call, he would recognize you.
Exactly.
And then
come
I
on.
replied to him, "You may think so now, my friend, but someday your life will depend on it. And when that day comes, Ben Jeffries will look down on you from the pulpit, and your punishment will be dispensed without mercy." And that has 15 likes now. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
And then
That seems to be
some
the
other
end
guy
of Sandals
responded,
Suck.
and he said, "Sandals suck, dude. You are literally such a sucky person. So wag, if we don't know him, then don't call him a moron. He seems nice."
aw, thanks,
You've got
buddy.
a fan.
I think
The
I'm
same
a
guy
decent
who
person.
down the page also commented, "Why he laughing?"
He laughing because
Why he laughing?
Keelan
Why
knows
he
what
laughing?
happens.
Why he laughing?
Yeah.
Why he
Anyway.
laughing?
Also, this other
think it
comment
was
thread
important
is
to
one of my
share that.
faves. Gorilla G Roxon commented, "Man, I remember watching this on Netflix when I had to take a sick day from work due to my cold back on Super Bowl weekend." So much detail. Whoa.
Yeah,
It's so
wow.
awesome.
Yeah, and holy shit, the scene had me lying in bed speechless for several minutes. Oh wait, no, that's not the one. Never mind. David Codex commented, "Time and time again, Uncut Gems always managed to get everyone to gasp in disbelief. This is no exception." And then Gorilla G Roxon replied, "Da Vinci Codex, just remember, this was the only way to end Howard's greed. If he lived, he would have kept gambling and never learned. If I were Howard in this movie, I would have paid everyone back the $175 million, $6,000 I got from Garnett when he finally bought the Opal. Then I would have stopped gambling for good and checked myself into rehab for a few weeks."
Wow, that's great.
I love. And then Will, you said something about such a deep character analysis. Like Howard is greedy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that, of course.
Of course he
The
is.
whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. The and checked myself into rehab for a few weeks really got me. Like this guy's like really thought it out. Damn.
Imagine
Wow.
how terrible that movie would have been if 5 minutes from the end he'd just been like, I realize I've been doing the wrong
I
thing. I'm
realized
just going to give
mistaken
everyone their money back.
I'm gonna
Oh
go
my
into
God.
rehab. I'll be back in a few weeks.
And then we have like a montage from like, you know, that scene from Moonlight where he's talking to his mom in rehab. It'll just be like that, but it's him and Garnett, and it's gonna be super awkward. Oh God. Oh, I love YouTube.
That was important.
YouTube
to
is
share.
better Twitter because everyone who's a prick on YouTube is just funny, and everyone who's a prick on Twitter is like a Nazi. So you know it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Anyways,
hard
I
to
wish that our videos got more views in general, so that we could just have comment threads all the time to make fun
I know.
of, because they're so funny.
it's so funny. 90% of people who comment on YouTube are just really weird, and I always
Yeah.
enjoy it. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll link the video in the description of this episode.
please.
I will.
We'll get 9 more views,
Amazing.
baby.
We'll get
Double
9 more
the
views.
likes. Yeah, double
Let's
the
go.
views. Okay, now let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Go for it,
Thank
Keelan.
you for listening to this episode of This Podcast Should Be Played Loud. Check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and go to Keith Loves Movies and check out my YouTube channel. Go to Will's YouTube channel and watch that video, and go to Ben's TikTok or something. I don't know. Geminus Studios. Subscribe to Geminus Studios. My movie's coming out this week. Go watch it, please.
It's really good.
And don't forget, Why He Laughing. Bye. The music used in this video was written by Brother Vink. It is called Jazz. You can find it by going to www.soundcloud.com/TacoBellIsRising/jazz. Thank you to Brother Vink.
Was written by Brother Vink.
It was written by Brother Vink.
Okay, I'm stopping recording.
I ain't lying. That's the truth. Oh my god.